All right, welcome to a snow day special for ETGR 1103. Um, we missed a day last week. We missed at least one day this week. Um, and we're getting to the point now where we're going to fall behind. So I'm making a handful of videos on this drawing using the tool that you have topic so that, excuse me, so that we can at least try and move forward with homework 2. Which will be open soon. And before I get too far, I do want to say, because this is going to be important for Canvas, um, this recording is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Um, I am very dependent on caffeine. Mountain Dew. Go to sources any. That'll make sense if you've been in the Canvas course. So, anyways, what I want to do, I know we did get a chance to do this in class, but I want to go ahead and record it so it's out there if I ever have this problem again next semester, because this topic comes up about the same time every spring, so it's entirely possible it could snow again. Let's go ahead and get it recorded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate the orthographic views of the three-dimensional solid in Word. So let's get started with that. Word, like I said in class, not a great drawing tool, but it is possible to do two scale drawings in Word, and I'll show you how to do that. So I want to start with the side profile. Uh, I take that back. Can I start with side profile? Yeah, sorry. I'm going to start with side profile. We're going to do that. We're going to find our drawing tools over here in the Insert tab under Illustrations. Here's our shapes. Let's get a line. I'm going to start down here in kind of the bottom left corner. I'm going to draw a line. Remember what I said. If you click and drag to make your line and you hold Shift, it's going to snap that line to either be perfectly horizontal at a 45 or perfectly vertical. So I'm going to snap that, make that perfectly horizontal. Go over here to shape format. This kind of looks weird because my display is squished because I also have this drawing open at the same time. Size, I want the width of this. Well, I don't specifically know the size of this notch, but I do know that the overall length from this edge to this edge is 4 inches, and from this edge to this edge is 3.5 inches. So the difference is half an inch. Come in here and make that 0.5. And I want to make sure, because just it's going to be helpful to move lines around if all the lines are in front of text. So make sure it is in front of text. And then we just keep making lines as they appear. And we'll zoom in a little bit, which is control mouse wheel. But remember, control mouse wheel, because this is Word, it's going to go to wherever the cursor is. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Again, it's Word, so eyeballing is perfectly acceptable. As you can see, it's kind of, geez, this is not easy to do. Sure looks like it's all in the right spot. And again, if you can help it, don't have to make drawings in Microsoft Word because it is a pain in the butt, but it is possible. That's 3.5 inches. And then 0.75. Ah. And another shape. And again, I don't know the length of this line. I don't have a dimension for that. But again, I know that the overall length of the shape is 4. And this segment up here is 1 1/4. So the difference between these two is 2 3/4. So that this right here is 2 3/4. Well, it looks like all those corners are snapping in the right spot. And again, we don't know the height of this, but we do know the overall height is 2 inches, and the height of this is 3/4 inches. So the difference is 1 1/4 inches. You can see these two endpoints, they don't exactly meet up, but again, close enough. Close enough for what you can do in Word. So now let's add the only other feature lines are going to be the hidden lines that represent this hole that run through this feature of the part. So let's start by doing a center line. And again, where in the world do we put this center line? Well, it's 1 3/8 inches in. So let's go draw a line. Oops, that's not. Let's go draw a line. It's 1 3/8 inches in from that edge. 1.375. There we go. And again, we can change our line type up here by clicking on Shape Outline. You can see, pick the color, width, and line type or the outline of your shape. We'll do that. Let's make this a different line type so that it does not appear as an object line. Hidden lines are typically all dashes. Center lines are typically dash dot. We'll do this as dash dot dot. So that's the center. And it's a 1 inch diameter hole. So I need to come this way with a line the same dimension as the radius. So that's one edge. Make that a dashed line. And then I'm going to select both of these. This to kind of be there. And this guy kind of be there. And then we'll do a center line for that circle. Just kind of do this. This is just going to be some arbitrary length. Again, for center line, we're going to make that dash dot. Just kind of put that there like so. Ta-da. That's the side profile of the shape. Now let's go and do the top. And I need to make sure when you're doing these orthographics that the edges line up. What you don't want to have is your side profile and then your top profile is just kind of here. That's not what you want. Let's go ahead and keep this. Did I make this? Let's try and match the line type 2. That is half point line. And this is half point line. All right. So I'll make sure these back edges line up. So, oh, my fire department's going to Jobtown. Well, reported Jobtown. So again, the way I did this in class was I took a line, came up from this corner, and just for giggles and grins, let's make it 1 inch long. Oops. Again, let's get that actually at the corner. Dash dot dot. Let's go ahead and make our rectangle the size of the overall outer dimensions of this shape, which is going to be 4 inches by 3 inches. So come over here, height 3, width 4. I can drag that to kind of there. It's probably close enough. Again, this is Microsoft Word. It's not going to be perfect. And then rather than measuring all these other lines, you see I have some features that are going to have to be projected onto this top view. So actually here, we'll just do this for the time being. Copy, paste, move that to this corner. I can take a line, start from here, drag up here. And then same, actually I'll draw a new line for this. Down here. And we'll copy this again. This is a hidden line, so it is a dashed line. Delete these so it's not confusing. All right. So that is these features projected onto the top view. Now I need my circle. And what I'm going to do is locate the center of this, which I know is 1.5 inches off this, we'll call bottom, and then 1 3/8 in from the right side. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw a box that is going to locate that center point. Do this. Oops, I don't want it filled. I want it, well, this is going to be construction line, so I might delete it when I'm done here. Right, and I need the size to be height, so that's from the bottom, which is 1.5 inches, and the width, which is from the right, 1.375, which is 1 3/8. Drag this into the corner. And now this right here is the center point of my circle. Grab my circle tool, start in the center, and remember, the default for creating a shape is dragging from upper left to bottom right corner. To make that start from the center for a circle, hold control, And then to actually lock it to be a circle shape, we hold Shift, and now it's a center out circle. That, like that, make this half point, keep it a solid line because this is an object line. Size 1 by 1. Now that's slightly off, but honestly, I'm going to cheat this by using the arrow keys on my keyboard to just kind of scooch it over, scooch it up, and that's pretty close to center. It's pretty close to center. And actually, what I might do for this, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Why is it snapping? All right, you know what? I'm not going to do that. We're going to draw another line. That's center line. And then, oh, you know what I should have done? Let's undo that. Put that back. Put that back. Center line. And what I'm doing is I'm just placing 2 lines instead of this box. There. All right. So that is our side view and our top view. And we'll do our front view right here. Again, I want to create kind of an anchor point so that these projections all line up. Line. Ooh, that is not. No, that is lined up. Okay. Let's make that an inch. Dash dot dot. And then another rectangle from here. So again, this is going to be our overall width again is 3 inches. Our overall height is 2 inches. So our height is 2, width is 3. This is now no longer, how's that look there? That's pretty close. No fill, thin outline. Oh wait, that's object line. So I do want that to be, wait, see, I got distracted. Dashes, solid line. There we go. And I'm going to copy this line and move it to here. Create another line from here. From here. Excuse me. Please give me a line. Right. And then I'm going to take this and just kind of drag it here. And this is a hidden line representing the notch, which is in the back. So you can't see it in that current view. So we show that with a hidden line, which is a dashed line. And then the only thing I need to do for this view is add the hidden line that represents the circle going through the middle. So again, that's 1.5 inches in from that face. So I'm just going to draw an 1.5 inch line here. And then, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Select these 3 lines. You can select multiple things and this is pretty universal in any program. If you're trying to select multiple things, hold Control while you're selecting them. Then we'll do Control C for copy, Control V for paste, and now they're up here. And I'm just going to drag that to be right about there. And I bet you, when I click off, yeah, how about that? The beauty of copy and paste. So that is the orthographic view for this solid in Microsoft Word. Um, Now, it is possible to kind of dimension this drawing. It is not easy by any means, but it is possible. And how you would do that is you'll go and you're going to add a line, but it's going to be a double arrow line. So rather than a line, you're going to come here, do this with double arrows. And let's do the overall height, for instance. This we're just going to kind of eyeball. I, for whatever reason, for me, universally, my dimension layers in AutoCAD have always been red. So I always make dimension lines red. So that's just me. That is not a law. That's just how I've always done it. Then you'll need a text box. That's just going to say 2. We'll add the little inches sign. Make it red. Nope. Oh, hang on. No outline. There we go. The text color is red. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then text direction, line text middle. I want to make this so that there isn't a whole bunch of extra space on the top and bottom. Center justify, middle of text block. There we go. Oh, that still has a fill, shape fill, no fill. There we go. So that's how you would do dimension. Do a dimension. It's a line with 2 arrows and a text box. So you can't just use the text, cursor that's in Word. It's up here. It's still waiting for you to start typing stuff. You don't want that. You want the separate text box. So you can make that. So that is doing a drawing in Microsoft Word. Simple drawing to scale drawing. Because, with these size tools, if you know your scale factors, I mean, it's going to be an added layer of doing a whole bunch of other math. But if you had something that was a different size, you could draw it to scale. If you know your scale factor, get a calculator and figure out what the actual drawn length of each line would be. So it is possible. Not easy in Microsoft Word, but it is possible. So again, Microsoft Word Orthographics is brought to you by Mountain Dew. I'm still going. Again, for those of you in Canvas, this is important. Um, yeah, that's Microsoft Word. Thanks for being forced to watch. I was going to say thanks for watching, but you're kind of my students, so I'm kind of making you watch. So good job.